I mean, the thing that drives me mainly is the fact that I realize that I'm not playing for myself.
10 things you didn't know about Trae Young. One of the hottest new talents to enter the NBA of late is the man known as Trae Young. All eyes were on him when he entered the league, and all eyes have not looked away since. In fact, more eyes have joined in on gawking and marveling at his exciting style of play. The long-distance shooting is exciting, the handles are great, the passing and the finishing at the basket, superb. But you know all this. We're here to talk about the stuff that's not as commonly known about Trae Young. Take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel while we take you through 10 things you didn't know about Trae Young. Some of the things are outstanding. Some have him in elite company with all-time greats, and some are downright weird, including the last one on the list that we're assuming no one could guess. Really, it's out there. Think you know all there is to know about Trae? Let's see. Get the name right. We're here for all the talk about Trae Young and the fun plays on his name. He's Ice Trae when he's so cold on the court with ice running through his veins. When he's jacking up long-distance threes, they're Traes from Trae. He's a Trae machine. The funny part is, with all these nicknames, we sometimes forget that even just Trae is a nickname. Trae isn't short for anything longer, like Trae Anthony or Trae. Trae is actually his middle name. It's just what he prefers. His first name is really Rayford. Yeah, Rayford Young. Sounds like a completely different pro basketball player, doesn't it? That's because it is. Who's Rayford? So, technically, the hot NBA star you know is Rayford Trae Young, but we all call him Trae, so that doesn't need to stop. But his dad is also Rayford Young, and the name may sound familiar to you for a good reason. Trae gets some of his excellent basketball talent from Pops. Rayford Young, talking about his dad now of course, played college ball. He was a star at Texas Tech where he played for 4 years. He declared for the NBA draft, but unfortunately was undrafted by any NBA teams. No worries for the original Rayford. He still went to play professional basketball overseas. France, Italy, Portugal, Spain, Western Europe was well represented in the original Rayford passport book. This no doubt had a big influence on Trae as his father didn't give up, worked hard, and made a living doing what he loved, playing ball. Now, Trae may not have ended up on a team that means he needs to make long-distance calls home, but that doesn't stop him from making long-distance calls to the hoop during the game. Long distance.
You've received a long-distance call from Trae Young. Will you accept the charges? The cost will be for 3 points.
When Trae's calling up the hoop, it's one of his most common methods. He's one of the kings of the long-distance shot. Need a little proof? In his rookie year, he made more long-distance threes than anyone in NBA history. 3-point shots from a distance of 30 feet to 40 feet from the basket. Only 3 other players have ever made double-digit shots in a season. Damian Lillard and Spencer Dinwiddie each did it once, and Stephen Curry did it 3 times. But none of them ever went over 20 of those such threes in a season. Trae hit 24 in that illustrious rookie season of his. What's more, it was on 68 attempts, marking his percentage from that range right at about 35%. That's a better percentage than a lot of players' overall 3-point percentage. In a league where the average distance of shots taken increases more and more, Trae is gonna just be fine. If the NBA ever adds a 4-point line, Trae will be more than fine, and everyone else will be more than scared. For now, the 4-point line isn't in Ice Trae's league. It will have to stay in Ice Cube's Big 3. Forgot about Trae. We're not sure if Trae Young's high school forgot to put him on the team his freshman year, but he did not play for the team his first year of high school. He attended Norman North High School in Norman, Oklahoma, and he did play for the team his sophomore year. If anyone had doubts about his undersized guard, his averages that year of 25 points and 5 assists per game probably shut them up. In the aftermath of his sophomore year, there were no slumps. He improved. By his senior year, he was still averaging around 5 assists, but kicked his points per game average up to 42. It seems a little shady that he didn't play his freshman year. Maybe it was his choice, or maybe Norman High School forgot about Trae. With his explosion on the scene, he quickly made a permanent impression. College record. In college, Trae and his Sooners had a matchup against Northwestern State, which they handily won 105-68. In the game, Trae tied an NCAA record for assists in a game with 22. To most, that's a major accomplishment, but Trae said the record isn't enough. He also notched 26 points in the same game, making him the first player in 2 decades to have at least 20 points and 20 assists in the same game. He tied an NCAA record, accomplished a feat that hadn't been done in 2 decades. Furthermore, he scored or assisted on around 70% of his team's total points. Had he stayed longer than a year, we suspect the university would have changed their name to the Oklahoma Trae Youngs. Would have been totally justified, and a lot catchier than the Sooners. Rookie like Robertson. Anytime a player is compared to Oscar Robertson, you can be sure they're doing something right. And anytime they stand in the statistical company of Oscar, they're probably doing a lot of things right. For Trae Young, this comparison comes between his and Oscar's rookie seasons. The only 2 rookies in NBA history to score 1,500 or more points and have 600 or more assists in a season. Can you guess? Oscar Robertson and Mr. Trae Young. That's impressive to be able to say. Only you and Oscar can claim to inhabit that stat island. Imagine if there were 2 stat islands that you and Oscar were both on. How great would that be? Just ask Trae Young, because he and Oscar are also the only 2 rookies to have 7 or more games with 30-plus points and 10-plus assists. So what should Oscar and Trae name their small chain of islands? Stat Island sounds like it's already been taken. The Oscar Trae's kind of has a ring to it. We'll test the waters on that one. Amigos with migos. Alright, maybe Trae isn't amigos with all of migos, but he's at least amigo with one migo. Quavo, to be exact. Quavo, being from Atlanta, was ecstatic when Trae ended up playing for his Hawks, and the two became good friends. Quavo even gifted Trae with a diamond necklace that says Ice Trae. Yes, the ice is so nice, it will have you saying he went to Jared. Although, likely Quavo's ice hookup is somewhere other than Jared. Trae wanted to return the favor after such a nice gesture, so he gifted Quavo with his stinky jersey he had been sweating in for several straight hours the night he put 50 up on the Heat. The thought is actually very nice, as that is quite the souvenir. The smell is actually not nice, as it's got quite some stank. We'll Quavo frame that behind a few layers of thick glass. Enter NBA beef. It's not all hugs and friendship and customized necklaces for Trae, though. He does have a serious beef with another player in the NBA. Trae Young and Grayson Allen do not like each other at all. In the 2018 Summer League, the two met for quite the close encounter. Which Allen was defending Trae basically baited Grayson into a foul. Grayson proceeded to try to stop Trae's shot with what we'll call not at all a basketball move. It got a little heated with some shoving and a Grayson Allen 2-part move that consisted of a bull rush and then a hands-up denial of any wrongdoing. Pretty sure we've seen that move used in UFC fights before. Then, there was a recent preseason game where Trae's defending of Grayson was quite rough and was capped off with a shove at the end, likely some pent-up frustration bubbling over from years before. And then most recently, as Grayson Allen was, we'll call it defending, Trae Young, he tripped him. Trae even posted a video of the incident online, and Grayson commented back with the same concern a high school bully would in a Disney made-for-TV movie. It doesn't seem the feuding will end between the two. Grayson may be laughing about his clever quips to Trae, but we imagine his large contract and commercial deals. Trae will have the last laugh over Grayson. Also, Grayson doesn't seem to be in the running to receive ice from any rappers anytime soon. Rarefied air. There's another members-only club that Trae belongs to in which the attendance is quite limited. It consists of him and 2 other players, and that's it. By the way, those 2 players are 2 of the greatest playing the game right now, and 2 of the greatest the game has ever seen, LeBron James and Kevin Durant. So what club does Trae Young belong to where the only members are LeBron and KD? Behind those two living legends, Trae is just the third player ever to have 10 40-point games before reaching the age of 22. As youngins, LeBron and KD lit up the courts, and then they turned into legends that they are now. If this club is any indication, Trae Young may be headed down the same path. At the very least, we're sure the members-only jacket they all get to sport as a part of this club is extravagant. So that's a plus to Trae's fashion game. Orny what? Yeah, get ready for this next one. It comes straight out of left field. And frankly, it's a mouthful. The word ornithobophobia, the meaning of fear of birds. Its relevance in this video? Trae Young has it. Yes, Trae Young has a fear of birds. And it's not like a casual, oh, I don't really care for birds, I'm kind of bothered by them, I tend to keep my distance type of situation. No, this is a full-on, legitimate fear, as dictated by the heavy word ornithophobia. Trae's high school teammates recounted an instance where he ran from a flock of pigeons and used his friends as human shields. Yes, that type of fear that strikes in Trae's heart and puts him not into fight mode, but ironically into flight mode. Oh, how he wishes he could fly away when he sees a flock of birds. But then that might put him too close to the realm of being a bird, and he may become afraid of himself. And that's a whole other rabbit hole. Here's the kicker. Trae Young is an amazing athlete that's in the public eye. And this isn't not an embarrassing fear, but consider this. As an athlete, what if Trae's sport of choice was football? If he headed to the NFL, he would have had a 15% chance of ending up on a team with a bird name and subsequently a bird mascot. If it was baseball Trae was into, heading to the MLB would have given him a 10% chance of landing on a bird name team. We all know Trae is a basketball player, and with the NBA only having 2 bird-themed teams, his chances of ending up on one of those teams were a measly 7%. Not bad for a guy trying to avoid birds at all costs. And when he was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks as the 5th pick in the draft, he probably breathed a sigh of relief. That is until word came down the pipe that he'd been traded to the Atlanta Hawks. And oh, how quickly the sigh of relief became a struggled gasp for air. So far, Trae has been managing well in Atlanta. The Hawk mascot seems to play nice with Trae and give him his space. Which is great because the last thing the city wants is Trae to leave because of a Hawk-related incident. Maybe they should change the team name just to be safe. What do you think? Any team names Atlanta should consider changing to? To appease the ornithophobic Trae Young? Comment and let us know and tell us which of these facts about Trae surprised you the most. Like the video and subscribe to the channel too. Whether you're a diehard Trae fan, a dedicated basketball fan, or just an avid birdsman, we'll continue to give you content on all 3, though admittedly, probably a lot less on birds. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for the next one.